we live and shit. You feel me? Hold on, let me make sure my camera good. Contender regime boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? What's good? Everything looks straight. Okay. Man, yes sir. Yes sir. We back in here, man. You know, another pop-up live show. Hope you guys have y'all notifications on because you never know when we gonna pop up. You feel me? Schedule a little crazy, so I just might pop up on you at any time. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I really want to chop it up with y'all, man, and talk about a possible matchup between JARON Ennis and Keith Thurman. You feel me? I'm really excited about the possibility of this match, even though most of us, including myself, not very optimistic that this shit is gonna happen, but I think it's a possibility. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Mike Biggs boxing in the building. What's good? Shout out to my brother G Mays in the building. What's good, man? And shout out to my brother Kano Loco Sports in the building. What's good? Said, man, Thurman don't want this fight. I keep telling folks, but hey, I'm with you, Kano Loco. I'm with you, bro. But I really want to talk about it because I think this matchup is extremely important for both fighters. And we're going to deep dive into it, man. But I think this matchup it can mean a lot for Keith Thurman and it can mean a lot for JARON Ennis. This is one of those fights where it benefits both guys equally. Maybe more so JARON Ennis, but at the same time, if Keith Thurman really serious about trying to get back to the top, this is a springboard for him to do that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Jay Harris, Too Real in the building. What's good? EB Sweat Lot in the building. What's good, man? I appreciate y'all for pulling up on me, man, on this cool Saturday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful, beautiful day in Dallas, Texas. You know, the heat been on our ass, man. The heat been goddamn choking a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's a smooth little day. You know, hopefully it don't hit 100 today, man. It's beautiful. I hope, you know, everything is you know, all in well where y'all at, man. And I hope y'all doing y'all thing. You feel me? But I appreciate y'all pulling up on me, though. Shout out to the brother OG in the building. What's good? Shout out to the brother Diavian Bob in the building. What's happening? What's good? Said he going to price himself out to try and not look bad. I can see that. That's definitely Keith Thurman-esque. It would just based off of how Keith been moving for the last few years. That's right up Keith Thurman alley to price himself out because this is, you know, one of those fights that I don't think he believes that he can win. You know what I'm saying? I think Keith Thurman believes he can win, but I don't think he is confident that he will win, which are, you know, two different things. Shout out to the brother Marcus Too Fast in the building. What's good? But we can dive right on in it, man. You know, Keith Thurman is still a great fighter. Renique 313 in the building. Salute, what's good? Keith Thurman is still a great fighter. What I don't want to do is discount him and just act like he don't got a chance to win. I think all of us, even though most of us would favor Boots in this fight, the younger, fresher guy with immense talent, but I think all of us will give Keith some chance to win that fight, right? Because we've seen Keith on this level before, but we never seen Boots on this level before, right? So that's one of the things that make this a great fight. But then at the same time, Keith Thurman is a guy who has a lot of pride. At least he showed that in the past. And he says that he want to get back to the top. There's literally nobody else that he can fight. Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, they handling business. Ain't nobody else he can fight. We're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it. Shout out to the brother Diavian Bible in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, I hope everyone staying hydrated. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? Spring water on deck. You know what I'm saying? He said, I hope everyone's staying hydrated. I'm out here mowing the lawn right now. Salute to everyone in the chat, man. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Rocking with us while you taking care of that lawn, man. Do your thing out there, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope you ain't in Texas out there more on that line, boy. Fucking around and pass out. Shout out to the brother Tez Frank in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Marlon Premius in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Say kind of loco. I give Keefe zero chance. Damn, bro, you get Keefe zero chance, bro. Come on, dog. But look, I get it though. I get it. But put it like this. This is why I think this fight could possibly happen. Number one, the network wants that fight really bad. Showtime wants Keith Thurman and JARON Ennis. Showtime really believes in JARON Ennis, and rightfully so. I mean, look at him. You know what I'm saying? They really believe in JARON Ennis. Now, we know Keith Thurman fights on Fox, but it's PBC. They can easily, and I think PBC is like 100% migrating to Showtime now. You know what I'm saying? So that's just from what I see. I think all of the bigger fights, you see Earl Spence on Showtime. I think you're going to see all of the bigger fights going to be Showtime. They finna take this shit over as far as like for PBC. So they really believe in JARON Ennis, right? And PBC, Al Heyman, they really want to put JARON Ennis in there with a name, somebody who's credible, somebody who can take them to that next level. Now, we know Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, they got business to take care of. It's undisputed. You know what I'm saying? They got big shit going on right now. Those two guys are off of the table for either fighter. Now, for JARON Ennis, yeah, he can go after a Stanionis. I love that fight. That's a possibility. That's a real possibility. Stanionis and Ennis. He could go after. He can try to get a goddamn Conor Ben, but we know Conor Ben. He on a tour fighting. He on a C minus C plus level tour where he's fighting guys that he already know he gonna win. I guess he's just trying to build his confidence and just get victories, and that's cool. We already know Virgil Ortiz and his team. They're looking at boots down the line. They not trying to fight him right now, that's a whole nother conversation. But we know that fight for JARON Ennis outside of Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford is the Keith Thurman fight to take him to that next level. Now, the thing is for Keith Thurman, yeah, Keith Thurman can go and fight another Mario Barrios. Yeah, he can go and fight another guy that's a tune-up or a get-back fight or a stay-busy fight. But that's not going to get Keith Thurman where he trying to go. If he truly serious about getting back to the top and getting in the same room with the Earl Spence or a Terrence Crawford, he has to go through JARON Ennis. There's literally no other path for Keith Thurman to get back to prominence. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button too, man. I appreciate it. There's really no other way that Keith Thurman can get back to prominence without going through JARON Ennis. He's going to have to put a demonstration down on JARON Ennis and let everybody know that, hey, I'm back. I'm really him. You know what I'm saying? I'm fully healthy. I'm still at the top level. A lot of fight fans, including myself, view JARON Ennis, even though he hasn't necessarily had an opportunity to prove it yet. I put JARON Ennis in that top 3. You know what I'm saying? Just skill for skill. He's definitely top 3 at the welterweight division. So if Keith Thurman was able to go in there and beat a JARON Ennis, that instantly makes people think, well, oh no, I gotta see Keith Thurman versus Earl Spence now. I gotta see Keith Thurman versus Terrence Crawford now. I gotta see him get a chance at Undisputed before the winner moves up to 154. That will springboard him to get back to prominence. Shout out to the brother Ramon King in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, I think JARON wins, but Keith can crack for real. He just don't have that dog in him to finish his opponent. Keith got the experience, but Ennis got the skills. Big facts, bro. Big facts. Big Facts said, shout out to the brother Showboating Sports. Jay Shooter said, I disagree. Keith can accomplish the same goal by going through Stanionis or Cody. No, he can't. No, he can't. Ain't nobody finna say Keith Thurman. Ain't nobody finna demand a Keith Thurman and Earl Spence fight because Keith Thurman beat Stanionis or because he beat Cody Crowley. No. Incorrect. You know what I'm saying? No. Nobody's gonna, if Keith Thurman, unless he gonna move up to 154 and try to catch Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford like a few fights down the line, after they done already became undisputed and, you know, won titles at 154, and Keith just still straggling around, and he move up to 154, and they like, we never seen that fight. Why not? Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody finna be demanding no damn Keith Thurman versus Earl Spence because you beat Cody Crowley, bruh. No. If Keith Thurman beat Boots, then people will demand that fight. Come on, bruh. Think about it. Shout out to the brother Doug Cooper in the building. Mark Thomas in the building. Salute. Shout out to my brother Vigilante Cato in the building. What's good? North St. Jizzle in the building. What's happening, man? I appreciate y'all boys for pulling up. Shout out to my brother Jay Einstein in the building, man. What's good? What's good? Come on, bruh. This is a straight path to the top for Keith Thurman. It's a chance for him to prove that he's still who he say he is, to prove that he's still on this top level. You know what I'm saying? And it's a chance to show that he deserved a shot at Terrence Crawford or Earl Spence. You feel me? But at this moment, people not demanding those fights because we seen Keith Thurman versus Manny Pacquiao, how he folded in a big moment. We seen him versus Barrios where he didn't look terrible, but he didn't look as advertised. You feel what I'm saying? Now for JARON Ennis, this is a great opportunity for him because you get the name. You get that name. You get Keith Thurman. The only guy that beat Keith Thurman was Manny Pacquiao. You get that name. You know what I'm saying? You get that experience. And then also with Keith Thurman being at the top, I think Keith Thurman is right there for the like number 1 and number 2 for the WBA. JARON Ennis is already the number 1 contender for the IBF. So that, and I think Keith Thurman is high in the WBC as well. This instantly puts JARON Ennis number 1 in multiple sanctioning bodies. So when the winner of Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, when they move up, JARON Ennis he already gonna be positioned perfectly without fighting Keith Thurman, but he will really be in position if he gets a Keith Thurman fight and wins. And then I think that could possibly turn him into a pay-per-view star early. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even say a pay-per-view star because that's something that you got to build, but I think that would put him on pay-per-view earlier than most people, you know, ever really get a chance to fight on pay-per-view. I think that'll take, because JARON Ennis is a pay-per-view fighter. He is a face of boxing caliber type of guy. He has everything that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? So for him to get a Keith Thurman fight and perform well versus a name like Keith Thurman versus somebody with a resume of Keith Thurman this early in his career, bro, that would do wonders. I think this fight, of course, I believe JARON Ennis benefits a little bit more, but both of these guys benefit greatly if this fight were to happen. Shout out to the brother W. Right Side in the building. What's good, man? Shout out to my brother J. Harris Too Real in a super chat coming through and showing love. He said, I don't know. I still give Keith a chance. If he beats Boots, his buzz will be back high. Facts. Facts. If he beat Boots, Keith Thurman's stock gonna go through the roof. He gonna turn up. His stock gonna go through the roof if he beat JARON Ennis. That's a fact. People will start demanding Keith Thurman versus Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. He might even get, I don't really think there's no bigger fights than that for Keith Thurman, you know, Spencer Crawford, but especially after they become undisputed. But this would put Keith Thurman on a whole nother level. If he wants to create that second win for his career, that second half of his career where he's, you know, on the other side of 31, 32, and he want to have another run, this is the pathway to do that. Shout out to my brother, Knockout Boxing 86 TV in this whole, man. I appreciate you for pulling up, dog. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all subscribe to Knockout Boxing 86 TV, man. Amazing YouTube channel over there talking that boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Out of Dallas, Texas as well. Big facts. You know how we coming. You feel me? Shout out to the brother Dave's Kate all day in the building. What's good? Said I think Thurman has the boxing skills, and regardless of the layoffs, he had Thurman regardless of the layoffs he had, Thurman does still have power in both hands. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Like, I think we all lean towards Boots for the most part. But Keith Thurman definitely got a chance to win that fight. And how many times have we seen guys step up and don't look as stellar as they looked versus lesser competition? Versus, guys that had less experience. Especially at this championship level, at this elite level. How many times have we seen that? Edgar Berlanga. Now, we're not comparing Boots to Berlanga, of course, everything in context. But we've seen this happen plenty of times. And I'm not saying this is going to be the case with Boots, but it can happen. We don't know. G-May said, and Boots ain't fought nobody. That's facts. Nobody that's, that's noteworthy. And that ain't his fault, but it's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? How many times have we seen that happen? You know what I'm saying? Said Thurman can prove he really wants to get back on top by fighting and beating Boots. He got one fight in 3 years. He got to prove he back, and Boots is a great way to skip that line. Bro, you put that shit in better words than I was able to put it. That's exactly what I'm saying. Boots give Keith Thurman an opportunity to skip the line, because at this point, people don't believe no more. You got motherfuckers saying, his moniker is Keith One-Time Thurman. You got people calling him sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You got people talking about, he ain't got the power no more, saying he ain't got that dog in him. I seen him fight Sean Porter. It looked to me that he had that dog in him in that fight. Them boys went tooth and nail. They was going crazy. That was a hell of a fight. One of the best fights in recent years. But I ain't seen that type of Keith Thurman since then. You feel me? People questioning Keith Thurman. Shout out to my brother Big Tex 33 in the building, man. What's good? People are questioning Keith Thurman, and him getting a victory over a guy like Boots Ennis is a way for him to show, all right, let me put all this doubt to bed. All these questions that y'all got, am I still Keith Thurman? Am I still him? You know what I'm saying? Do I still got it? You know what I'm saying? Can I still put a motherfucker to sleep? That's a way to answer the bell. It's a way, like the brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV said, that is an opportunity to skip that line. Because right now, with people not believing, he gonna have to fight multiple fights. And he ain't finna fight no Stanionis, beat him, and then all of a sudden everybody believe now. People gonna be like me. I'm gonna say that's a great win. Because I think I'm high on Stanionis. I think Stanionis is good. I really like Stanionis. I think he can fight, he can box, he tough, he strong. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker like a machine, don't show no emotions. You remind me of Earl a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying he not on that level, but his demeanor, the way he go about his business, that motherfucker he don't stop. He like a machine. But Keith Thurman beating Stanionis, it ain't gonna make me say, now I gotta see him fight Earl now. Or now I gotta see him fight Bud. Now I'm gonna be like, I need to see something else. You know what I'm saying? Especially no damn like Cody Crowley and shout out to Cody Crowley. I like Cody Crowley too. Shout out to the brother E. Frazier in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? My boy Mark Thomas in the building. What's good, man? Shaquan in the building. I appreciate y'all boys for pulling up, man. Shout out to Joey in the building. What's good? Shout out to the queen, Miss Joette in the building. What's good? Said Thurman won't be able to take those body shots, though. Yeah, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And Boots go to that body. Boots is a mindful fighter. Very intelligent. He's a mindful fighter. He thinks when he's in that ring. Pay attention to his Instagram, man. That dude don't do nothing but train and, stay up late at night watching film and shit. You know what I'm saying? He know what he doing and he think in that ring. So he knows that Keith Thurman has had trouble with body shots in the past, and he will definitely make it a point of emphasis to go to Keith Thurman's body, and I think he'll have success. And that's a challenge for Keith Thurman. But if he think he gonna fight an Earl Spence, what you think Earl gonna do? That's why I gotta see him fight Boots. What you think Earl gonna do? He gonna go to that body. So let me see what you do with JARON Ennis. You know what I'm saying? What you think Terrence Crawford gonna do? He gonna go to that body. Well, let me see what you do with JARON Ennis. I gotta see it. Shout out to the brother Karate Body in the building. Was good. Said Keith Thurman wants the most money for the least risk. He's a joke at this point. Yeah, man, but I'm giving him an opportunity to show me different. Said I heard Keith wanted like 10 million for the fight. Damn. Goddamn Keith Thurman. And then you fuck around and fight somebody way lesser for way less money. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I understand. You know, you want to get paid for, you know, for this task, because getting in there with JARON Ennis and actually showing up to try to win, not on no Custio Clayton type shit, it's a real task. And he want to get paid handsomely for it. And I mean, if you look at the work that he put in, I totally understand. But it comes to a point where if you really say you are who you are and you trying to prove a point, you got to do some of the things that you might not want to do. You might have to take a little less to prove this point so you can get that big fight with an Earl Spence. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. After Earl become undisputed, because I do believe he will beat Terrence Crawford and become undisputed. You know what I'm saying? And then move up to 154. But after all the smoke clear, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I still wouldn't mind seeing Earl Spence beat up on Keith Thurman or take the fight. You know, we don't know what's gonna happen. But I wouldn't mind seeing Earl Spence get in there with Keith Thurman. But it ain't gonna happen until he go out there and show us that he's still on the top level. And this is a perfect opportunity for him to do that. So pricing yourself out, that ain't gonna do it, Keith Thurman. That ain't gonna do it. You gotta take the route of a Devin Haney. You gotta put it all on the line. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show us how bad you want this shit. But see, everybody not built like Devin Haney. That's what I be trying to tell y'all. Everybody ain't built like Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to tell, boy, everybody don't got that mentality. Said Booze versus Oogas. I like that too, G-Man. Shout out to the brother Big Tex 33 in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said Keith know he being sacrificed at this point, so he trying to get a bag and walk away. Yup, I can see that, bro. I totally get it. I totally get it. I understand. But I look at it like this. What type of dog does Keith Thurman really have, though? I know he trying to get a bag. We seen him late night, right before the Manny Pacquiao fight. The night before the Manny Pacquiao fight, he was up 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning, gambling, trying to come up on something. You know, I don't know what the financial situation like, but I kind of question, okay, why did he come back to the sport? Did he come back because he want to be great? Or did he come back because the money was running low? I don't know. I think that's a legitimate question. Why did they put Thurman versus Barrios on pay-per-view? Ain't that shit kind of odd? You feel me? So, I don't know. Maybe he is trying to price himself out, get a bag, and dip up out this motherfucker. But the way he talking, you know, he talking like he's still on top. He talking like he can still compete with the best. Well, you going to have to show me, Keith Thurman. You going to have to show me. Said Earl said he never fighting Thurman. He ducked him. Now he wants some of that Texas Stadium money. Facts. I think if Keith Thurman were to beat a guy like JARON Ennis or a Virgil Ortiz, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like that, I think Virgil Ortiz could possibly do the same thing that Boost can do in terms of giving Keith that respect, restoring his respect. But, you know, he would have to do that shit within like these next couple of fights. You feel me? And then later on down the line when Earl go up to 154, if Keith want to go up there and get a fight, I think Earl will entertain it. I think he'll entertain that fight if he beat one of those guys, especially JARON Ennis. Shout out to the brother Marvin Banks in the building. Appreciate you for pulling up. Shout out to the brother Big Tex 33 back in that super chat coming through and showing love again. He said Keith has never showed no dog. It's always been a money thing. Ooh, I will say in the Sean Porter fight, he showed that he had some type of intensity and the willingness to battle toe to toe. I will say that. However, there was a change immediately after that fight, and then going into the Danny Garcia fight, his energy was, especially when Earl Spence was on the rise, his energy was totally different. That's when I really started questioning Keith Thurman. In the ring, I saw that he had some type of vigor and dog in that Sean Porter fight, but it just seemed like when Earl Spence's name started to continue to bubble and people started to demand that fight, it seemed like his energy just totally changed. He didn't have no more heart. You know, he turned into a totally different person. You feel me? And maybe he was always this person. Maybe it was a facade. You know, maybe he just felt like these other guys were nobody to be, you know, afraid of or nobody to respect. But when he finally ran across somebody that he's saying, okay, nah, this dude's serious. You know, I can't go in there and play with him. I really got to be on my shit. He folded. He didn't want no smoke. Maybe that was always Keith Thurman. But if he want to restore that shit, if he want to restore respect on his name, he got to fight JARON Ennis. He got to fight JARON Ennis. Big facts. You know, but I did see, switching gears here, shout out to the brother Happy Valley Farms, you know what I'm saying? Nice segue. I did see Terrence Bud Crawford on Instagram. He posted on his story, you know, he was in Dallas, Texas. Now, I thought that was kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? Thought that was kind of interesting. Now, I don't know. I don't have no behind the scenes information on this particular, you know, situation. I don't know if he met up with, you know, with Earl Spence or, you know, both their teams sat down and had lunch and talked about the fight. I don't know. But I thought that was pretty interesting. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother G Mays. He said, smash that like button, man. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all heard that, man. Listen to him. He'll pull that strap out on you, man. You better do what he say. Big facts. But look, I thought that was very interesting. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was very interesting. You know, hopefully it's a sign of what we all hope to come. I did see Terrence Crawford do the interview with DAZN. They asked him a series of questions, most of which was about the potential match with him and Earl Spence. And I want to talk about that, man. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see Terrence Crawford's interview with DAZN? Shout out to the brother D'Avian Bible back in that super chat, coming through and showing love. He said, is it just me, or does it seem like some fighters soften or harder whenever they start making families? You know what, bro? That's a good point. That's a good point. Some guys, when they have a kid and they, you know, they have a woman, they got a family and stuff, it make them go harder. They turn up. But then some guys, you know, they start getting all in their feelings and shit and start slacking. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers start getting out of shape. You feel me? They start losing that hunger. They start, you know, the interest that they had in their craft and their hobbies and the shit they was doing on an everyday basis. They ain't doing that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be built a certain type of way. You know, sometimes that shit be they rock. Sometimes that shit be they downfall. Keith Thurman, it seemed like he done got soft. Uh-oh, we got one. We got one. Man, you can't come in here talking about the guard like that, man. Get on out of here, man. You can't come in here talking like that, bro. I mean, you can have your opinion, bro, but you can't be disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Talking crazy like that. Come on, my boy. Come on, my boy. You can't do that. Said, Bud, better sign that contract and leave Dallas immediately. Ain't no kicking it out here. This EJ City. Big facts. Yeah, man. You know, it get wicked out here, man. You know, it get wicked out here, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, said hopefully they was you know, I'm hoping that was the case. I'm hoping that was the case, man. Said Crawford was real respectful of Spence in that DAZN interview, almost too respectful. I noticed that. Hey, peep what Marvin Banks said. I noticed that. Now that could mean, let's unpack that. Said Crawford was real respectful of Spence in that DAZN interview almost too respectful. Let's unpack that. So I'm taking that a couple of different ways. I'm looking at it as if the fight is pretty much done. Shout out to the brother Jay Miller in the building. What's good? The fight is pretty much done. And you know, when you got a huge fight on the brink, it's on your hands. And it's also a guy that you genuinely respect as a fighter. Ain't no real malice there. You genuinely respect him as a fighter. But y'all on good terms because y'all making a fight. And you trying to keep it cordial. You know what I'm saying? It could be that. But I actually think it's him realizing that the fight is here. And now I really gotta face this guy. And all that rah-rah shit that I was talking, you know, going exactly Big Tex 33. Look, I'm not trying to put that jacket on him and make it seem like he, you know, I ain't trying to put that on him, but this is the energy that I got. I think he's realizing that, all right, just like I told y'all about a lot of these fake Terrence Crawford fans, not the real ones, but the fake Terrence Crawford fans, you feel me? And then some of the ones that, you know, some of the ones that claim they hardcore Terrence Crawford fans, some of y'all too. When the fight get made, the energy start changing. When the fight is actually a real possibility, the energy start changing. So I got a sense that Terrence Crawford is realizing, man, this fight is really here. This fight is really here. You know what I'm saying? And now I really got to see this guy. You know, and when they ask him questions about the power, you know, the skills, like the way he was talking about Earl Spence, you can see that this is different from any other fight that Terrence Crawford has ever had. It's different from any fight that Earl Spence has ever had, as far as on the level, like the magnitude of the fight. But Terrence Crawford understands the beast that he's about to get in the ring with. He understands the level of opposition that he's about to face, and he's going about that shit in a respectful manner. You know what I'm saying? He understands that styles make fights. He understands that he gonna have to be on a whole nother level when he get in there with Earl Spence. You know? He understands that Earl Spence really like that. You know, they say killers respect killers. Real recognize real. I think Terrence Crawford really is starting to come to an understanding that, hey, man, it's time to get serious. You know, yeah, we did all that talking before, but now I really got to go see this man. And it's setting in now. It's setting in now. But I said that about a lot of Terrence Crawford fans, though, because when the fight actually started, remember, a lot of people was just happy talking about the fight. A lot of people, and still to this day, a lot of people, they just happy talking about the possibility of the fight. They just want to get on camera and argue about the fight all day, debate back and forth on what's going to happen, this going to happen. But a lot of them really don't want to see the fight. You know why? Because they going to have to stand on what they said. They going to have to stand on all that bullshit that they was talking about. They going to have to stand on all that, you know, Earl, you know, he a drunk. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going to be the same after the car accident. He basic. He don't got no skills. He don't got no power. All that bullshit that they was talking about, now you gotta stand on that. You feel me? Now you gotta stand on that shit. I told you I seen this movie before. Now you gotta stand on that. And I think a lot of these Terrence Crawford fans, they realizing like, all right, yeah, is this shit really gonna happen now? You know, so is Terrence Crawford really like that? We gonna find out. So that's what I think, Marvin Banks. That's what I got from that. You know, he was very respectful, but I thought it was a dope interview, man. You know, I like the aspect of what Terrence Crawford was talking about, the power, though, when they asked him, do you think your power is more than do you think you're more powerful than Earl Spence? And he said styles make fights. He said, I never got hit by him. He never got hit by me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. Drake Joe in the building. What's good? You know, so I can't really say who hit the hardest. And he was like, the fight not going to be determined off of who hit the hardest. It's a lot more that goes into a winner coming out of that fight or a loser coming out of that fight. It's a lot more that go into it. It's about skills. It's about a stylistic matchup. And with both of these guys, in my opinion, being, extremely talented and skilled on the elite level, the stylistic aspect of this fight is going to be the most important. It's going to be the most important. And I think Terrence Crawford realized that shit. He know he finna get in there with a force. He know he finna get in there with a strong, physically and mentally strong fighter with skill that has a work rate out this world. Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora probably got the highest work rate in boxing. I think Errol Spence's work rate is #1 in boxing. I don't see any other fighter that's able to keep up the level of punch output and also maintaining accuracy and timing and skill with it, and then defensive responsibility throughout an entire fight like Errol Spence. I don't think nobody else has been able to keep that up like Errol Spence. Sebastian Fundora's work rate is crazy, but his defense ain't as good as Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? But just work rate wise, those two guys. Benavidez got a high work rate too. That's facts. Benavidez is definitely up there. I think Benavidez is like top 5 when it comes to work rate. You know what I'm saying? The difference between him and Earl and Fundora is he don't go to the body. Earl and Fundora, they go to the body. Benavidez, he straight head hunt. He don't go to the body. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think Terrence Crawford, he finally understanding like this shit real. Remember what Errol Spence said to him on Twitter? He said, yeah, all them jokes and that shit cool, but you and I both know that ain't shit gonna be funny when we get in that ring. Terrence Crawford know that. Y'all see the energy be different with Bud and these other fighters as opposed to with Errol Spence. That energy different. When he talk about Errol Spence, it's a little different. Especially now that he know the fight is a real possibility. I'm not saying he's scared or nothing like that. I'm just saying he knows that now anything that I say, I have to actually atone for that. Anything that I say now, I got to actually put that shit to work in the ring. I got to actually show and prove because the fight is a real possibility now. It ain't just some imaginary shit now. This ain't just no fantasy fight no more. This shit real now. And Terrence Crawford realized that shit. He understand that. And that's good. That's good. He got to come in there with that mentality. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. He said Bud would counter Spence. He gonna have to. But Errol Spence eats counter punches for breakfast, man. Errol Spence eats counter punches for breakfast. He eat counter punches for breakfast. Terrence Crawford gonna have to be more than just a counter punch if he gonna beat Earl. Because if he just gonna be primarily a counter puncher, he gonna be looking for the perfect shot all night, and that motherfucker never gonna come, and he gonna end up losing the fight 9-3 or getting stopped. That's what's gonna happen. He gonna have to be more than a counter puncher. He gonna have to up his work rate. He gonna have to be more offensive. He's a great offensive fighter when he fights, but he fights in spurts as far as the offense. You know what I'm saying? When he catch you in between punches and he see you lacking, he'll continue to throw combinations. But for the most part, if you being offensive and you putting pressure on him, he just gonna sit back and wait on you. Shout out to the brother Pool Counter Boxing in the building. He just gonna sit back and wait on you. You can't do that with Errol Spence. He gonna eat you up for breakfast, I'm telling you. If you sit back and wait on Errol Spence, he gonna be first, and he gonna apply that pressure behind that jab, and he gonna slow down a lot of your attacks, really. If you're just sitting back and waiting for the perfect shot, he gonna slow all that shit down because you got a constant jab in your face that's going to the head and to the body from different angles, and he bringing that hot shit behind it. And he's physically imposing, cutting off the ring and putting that body on you. Terrence Crawford gonna have to be more than a counterpuncher if he gonna be Earl. He gonna have to be more than a counterpuncher. Said, I think Bud going to move a lot in the ring like Sean Porter, but Spence good at cutting the ring off, very disciplined. Facts. He going to try to move. This is what's going to happen. He gonna try to move in that fight. He gonna try to move, and counter, and then wait for Earl to get, when Earl start trying to get his shit off, he gonna try to hold Earl, and in the first couple of rounds, he gonna realize that he can't hold Earl. That's what's gonna change the whole. That's what's gonna change the trajectory of that fight, because Terrence Crawford is gonna realize that I can't just, box and tie up and then reset. He's not gonna be able to do that with a guy as strong as Earl Spence. He gonna realize that, oh, I really gotta fight this dude. I told y'all, Earl Spence is gonna corner Terrence Crawford. He gonna cut that ring off and make him fight. He gonna make him fight. And that's when the shit gonna get real. He gonna find out that he in Earl Spence world now. Because when Earl cut that ring off and he get in the trenches with him, and we gonna see what Terrence Crawford inside game like. Because he gonna close that distance on him. When he try to hold Earl, that's when Earl gonna, break them arms off and then start going to the body. You know what I'm saying? Conditioning gotta be on Goku. Big facts, G-Mays. Conditioning gotta be conditioned out this world. I'm talking about the hyperbolic time chamber. You feel me? That's the type of shit Terrence Crawford gonna have to be on, because that's the type of shit that Earl on. It's 100 and some degrees out here for days in a row. Earl Spence in the gym, it's 120. That man training to go the distance. He training for 15 rounds. Terrence Crawford's punch output is gonna have to increase. He's not gonna be able to just sit back and counterpunch and wait on Earl. Sit back, counterpunch, wait on Earl, and just try to, catch him in between shots and hit him with the perfect shot. And then, it's a knockout. That can happen. I'm not saying that that's out of the realm of possibilities. I think Terrence Crawford can knock out Earl Spence. But how likely is that, though? Think about it. How likely is that? Exactly, D-Live. He said, get off me. Real talk, that's how it's gonna be. Soon as Terrence Crawford try to hold on Earl, they gonna get in close quarters. I'm telling you how it's gonna go. Earl gonna use that jab to close the distance, and then Crawford gonna try to counter. Earl fuck around, slip. Now they done got in close quarters. Terrence Crawford gonna try to hold on him, stop him from working. He not gonna be able to hold Earl on the inside. Earl gonna break them bitches off and be going to the body. And he keep doing that round after round after round. Terrence Crawford gonna be broke down later on. His legs ain't gonna be the same. The movement, the mobility ain't gonna be the same. You feel me? His stamina and conditioning ain't gonna be the same. When the fight get past 7, that's when shit really gonna get real. That's when we really gonna see what type of dog Terrence Crawford got. Because he gonna have to fight for his life. Earl Spence gonna make Terrence Crawford fight. I keep telling y'all, man. He gonna make him fight. Shout out to the brother Big Tex 33 back in that super chat, coming through and showing love. He said the way Earl working in this Texas heat, he gonna be ready to kill something. This shit be having me ready to swing on niggas just walking to the car. Big facts. Big facts. The conditioning and endurance is gonna be a factor in this fight. G Mays just said some real shit. No legs, no power. That's facts. No legs, no power. That's facts. I'm telling you, bruh. As that fight go on, and I hope that beeping sound, they outside working and shit. I hope that shit ain't too loud. But the longer that fight go on, the worse it's gonna get for Terrence Crawford. Once he realized that I can't just sit back, pot shot, counter, and then grab like he did with Sean. Because number one, Earl Spence is coming in with it more intelligent pressure, with a way better jab than Sean Porter. He's a bigger guy, more physically imposing, better at cutting the ring off, better with punch placement. Earl Spence is a bad matchup for counterpunchers, y'all. I tell you all the time, you gotta be able to hurt Earl Spence and deter him. Now, I think Terrence Crawford does have the power because his shit snappy. He does have the power to hurt Earl Spence. I believe that. He got great snap on his punching. on his punches, really good hand speed, and Terrence Crawford is one of the best, if not the best fighter in boxing at catching you in between punches. He's a sharpshooter. He wait at the right shot. As soon as you know what I'm saying? Now, Earl can't go in there like he did versus Ugas. Now, he 17-month layoff when he fought Ugas? You feel me? He can't go in there, overzealous, overextending, doing crazy shit in them first couple of rounds. He tightened that shit up like after the third round. But he was lunging in, you can't do that with Terrence Crawford because he'll pick your ass out. Any small mistake, he'll get on your ass. You can't do that. So Earl gonna have to tighten that shit up. You feel me? But I think he gonna be way, way more sharp now. He's coming off of one of his all-time best performances versus Ugas. And he gonna be fresh. He's sharp. He in shape right now. Like Big Tex 33 just said, that man in a gym in Texas, 120 degree heat. You feel me? Going crazy. So that conditioning gonna be out of this world. And the fact that he ain't gonna have to worry about losing weight, he gonna just be focused on straight skills. He gonna be sharp. And he just had a fight in April. He gonna be extremely sharp. So I don't think you gonna see Earl doing all of that uncharacteristic lunging in and shit that you seen in the first couple of rounds versus Ugas. So Terrence Crawford, he gonna have to, if he trying to catch Earl in between shots and hit him with that perfect knockout shot, and that's all he looking for, it's gonna be hard to beat Earl. Because what happens when it's round 6 and he still ain't landed that perfect shot yet? And the whole time, Earl been bodying him up. Earl been landing jabs, snapping his head back. Earl, they been in the clinches. Earl hitting arms. You know what I'm saying? He hitting hips. You feel me? He hitting kidneys, ribs. You know what I'm saying? He hitting that jab to the solar plexus. He hitting neck. You feel me? What happened when they been in the trenches for 6 rounds and Terrence Crawford still ain't landed that perfect shot yet? He still ain't landed that. He's still looking for it. It ain't came yet. He's still looking. Look how long it took for him to get Sean Porter with it. Look how long it took Terrence Crawford to get Sean Porter with that shot. He got him, but look how long it took him to get it. What happened when it's round 6, round 7, and he still ain't found that punch yet? But the whole time, Earl been working. Building up damage. You know how like a video game that motherfuckers got that health meter, that damage meter? It's round 6, round 7, round 8. Terrence Crawford damage meter gonna be up there because he gonna be getting hit all over the place. And like G May said, no legs, no power. Later on in the fight, he ain't gonna have that same snap on his punches like he had in the first few rounds. Because Earl Spence take that shit out of you. And whole time, Earl Spence getting stronger. So when it's round 9, round 10, and you slowing down, Earl Spence going crazy. That's when he be getting motherfuckers the fuck out of there. That's when he break you down. He just keep coming. Just keep coming. Just keep coming. And if that perfect shot for Terrence Crawford, this is why I say people always get on me when I tell y'all Terrence Crawford only has a puncher's chance. He only has a puncher's chance. Because when it get late in the fight and he still ain't landed that perfect shot yet, who y'all think gonna be up on the cards? Who y'all think gonna be up on the cards in round 10? If the fight is in round 11, who y'all think gonna be up on the cards? If the fight go 11, that means Terrence Crawford, he ain't landed the shot yet, right? Who you think gonna be up on the cards? Terrence, how? How is Terrence Crawford gonna be up on the cards? How? How? The voice of Furion. How is Terrence Crawford gonna be up on the cards? How? He said Bud will be up 10-0. Oh, he trolling. You trolling. How he gonna be up on the cards, bruh? How? Like, let's be realistic. How? Who you think would have landed the most punches? Who you think number one would have threw the most punches, landed the most punches, and controlled the pace of the fight? Who you think gonna be the aggressor? Who you think gonna throw the most jabs? Who you think gonna throw the most body shots? He's not gonna be up on the cards, bro. I'm telling you. If he's sitting back waiting on Earl Spence for the perfect shot, and he every now and then he throw a combination, he's not gonna be up on the cards. I'm telling y'all, bro. He's not. You keep believing that shit. Keep believing Terrence Crawford can outbox Earl Spence. Keep believing that shit. I hope you put money on it too. Keep believing that shit. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. He's not gonna be outboxing Earl Spence like y'all think. Like how Devin Haney did Kambosos. This ain't gonna be that. This ain't. He not finna give him no boxing lesson. I don't know why you motherfuckers think that. What makes you think Terrence Crawford can just stay off the ropes and not get the ring cut off and just box clean with Earl Spence and just, make the shit look pretty? What make you think that? That's crazy. That's crazy. And he coming off a layoff too. But I ain't even gonna put that energy in the air. Terrence Crawford, he could have took him. I'm glad he didn't take no fight though. Not because I want Earl Spence to have an advantage because he coming off a layoff. I just didn't want no bullshit to happen. I want Bud to go straight to Earl Spence. I always like fighters to be more active. So I think that is an advantage for Earl Spence. But hey, man, he gonna be 35 and coming off a layoff. That's his business. You feel me? But none of that shit gonna mean nothing. I'll take that as him being fresh, well rested, and ready to go. And he had ample time to study Earl Spence. You feel me? But I'm telling you, dog, there's no way Terrence Crawford is gonna be up on the cards if the fight goes to the late rounds. At that point, Earl Spence is gonna damn near be about to stop Terrence Crawford, or he gonna be cruising to a decision. You gonna see in round 10, round 11, round 12, Bomac gonna be telling Terrence Crawford, hey man, you need a knockout. You need a knockout. Earl done been putting that pressure on him the whole fight, going to the body, making it nasty. You know what I'm saying? Putting that jab on his ass, roughing him up. You feel me? Just doing him dirty in there. You feel me? Round 11, Bomac, hey man, you need a knockout. Hey, you gotta go get him now. This is what it all come down to now, champ. You gotta go get him. You down, you losing. You losing. You gotta go get him now, champ. That's what you gonna hear. You gotta go get him now. You down on the cards now, champ. Come on now. Show me that Omaha, Nebraska. Show me that dog now. You gotta go get him. This is what we train for. You losing, champ. You down on the cards. I'm telling you, bro, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Now, can Terrence Crawford knock out Earl Spence? I'll say it again. I believe he can, but it's unlikely. I think Earl Spence can win a decision or stop Terrence Crawford, but I think I'm leaning towards a stoppage because I just don't think Terrence Crawford gonna be able to deal with the pressure of Earl Spence, and his lack of punch output is gonna be a detriment. You know what I'm saying? I don't think his body can take it. So, after the fight, Spence gonna be talking mad shit. Big facts. Oh, yeah, you already know. Oh, he gonna be talking big shit. He gonna be talking big shit. Said, give me credit when the fight plays out. Like I said, I think I'm gonna become a boxing analyst after this. My predictions are way too accurate. Okay. Hey, bro, if you don't change your name and your avatar, I'm gonna give you credit. You know what I'm saying? And if that shit really happened, I'll give you your credit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got to stand on what I say. No matter the outcome of that fight, I'ma still be here making videos, chopping it up with y'all about this boxing shit. So I gotta stand on what I say. A lot of y'all gonna be changing y'all goddamn profile pic, changing your name. You know what I'm saying? You know, after Earl Spence go out there and put elbows, kneecaps, and ankles on Terrence Crawford, a lot of y'all ain't gonna. I'm gonna be like, who is that? Motherfucker done changed his name. You know, you done deleted all the comments from your channel and shit. You feel me? Boys done changed up they whole get up. Now I can't even talk shit. Cause y'all, I'ma know y'all in the chat, but I ain't gonna know who y'all are. You feel me? So I done seen this happen before. But I know Earl definitely gonna be talking crazy shit after the fight. It's gonna be lit. Shout out to Ronaldo Mitchell in the building. What's good? Said, I'm ready for the press conference with Bo Mack and Derrick James. It's going to be hilarious. Hey, on me. The press conference is going to be lit, though. I'm ready for the build-up, dog. The press conference is going to be lit. I'm ready to see the energy once we know the fight signed and we know both of them got, like, it's on. And then they do the face-off. Bro, the energy going to be crazy. The energy. I'm going to tell y'all one thing. I guarantee you, you seen how Bud was on Sean Porter ass like in the face-offs and shit like that, or how he treated Jose Benavidez. I guarantee you he don't treat Earl like that. The energy gonna be totally different. Watch, you gonna see. This the first time he ever been in there with somebody who like that. You feel me? Like this the first time he ever been in there with somebody who ain't finna fold. Like no matter what. If you go to a level, Earl Spence gonna go to another level. If you change gears again, Earl Spence gonna go to another level. If you turn it up another time, Earl Spence gonna turn it up again. And Terrence Crawford know that. Oh yeah, he gonna be very respectful. He gonna be very respectful. You seen how they was in the meetup. Man, Terrence Crawford was low-key being friendly. I know he a dog and all that, but man, he was being friendly. He talking about, man, take my number down. Man, Earl Spence said, I don't want your number. I don't got your number. Fuck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, Terrence Crawford was low-key being friendly. Bro, I already know how this shit gonna go. It's finna be the same when they get in the ring. I know Terrence Crawford gonna fight to win. He gonna fight with vigor and intensity and aggression. I know that. But hold on. Let's touch on what I said in that video when I said, how does Terrence Crawford deal with the strongest version of Earl Spence? I think it's a possibility that Terrence Crawford turns straight full boxer. Shout out to the brother G5 Gabe in the building. What's good, man? Appreciate you for pulling up. Make sure y'all subscribe to G5 Gabe as well, man. Another Dallas Texan in this hole. You feel me? Yeah. But look, I'm telling you, I think we might see Terrence Crawford on some let me just like try to outbox him type shit. That ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. But what if we see Terrence Crawford get in there and like his energy totally different? He like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't take as many chances as I used to take. What if that happened? It's a possibility. Now I think Terrence Crawford being the type of dog that he is, just his mentality, he like to fight. So he gonna want to fight back. Soon as he get touched, he gonna want to fight back. But what if that shit happen? What if he get in the ring? I'm not questioning nothing Earl Spence got going on. I know what he gonna do. I know how Earl Spence showing up to the fight. I know the energy he bringing. That's not me being biased. That's just me. Can y'all hear me? Are we back? I don't know if we having a connection issue or what. We good? Said Bud is more unpredictable than Earl. Fact. Salute to the brother Swift46 in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said salute, bro, man. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate it, dog. I appreciate it. Said Terrence Crawford is more unpredictable. That's facts. That's facts. Okay, bet. So, I don't think any of us can question like how Earl Spence. I think we don't know what the game plan gonna be. I feel like I know what the game plan gonna be, but I think Derrick James and Earl, they cooking some shit up for real. But I know the intensity. I know the gist of what Earl Spence is planning to do when he get in there with Terrence Crawford. And I know that he not gonna change his style up. I know he gonna still put pressure on that motherfucker like he do everybody else. With Terrence Crawford though, I don't know. Let me tell you why. Because the level of competition that I seen Earl Spence on, and at the time that he fought those guys, it's just bigger fights. It's just more competitive fights. Like Ugas and Earl, just a bigger and more competitive fight. Earl when he fought Kell Brook, just a bigger and more competitive fight. Earl when he fought Sean Porter, it was a unification. Sean Porter got up for that fight. That he wanted nothing more in his life than to beat Earl Spence. It was just a bigger and more competitive fight. I seen Earl Spence on these levels. I know what he do. You know what I'm saying? But with Terrence Crawford, what if he come out that bitch and just, because I done seen motherfuckers like, I ain't finna take no chances. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna just box. But you get that ring cut off on your ass, and Earl Spence gonna make your ass fight. Earl Spence gonna make you fight, bruh. You gotta fight him. Unless Earl Spence choose to box you in a chess match, you gonna have to fight. You gotta fight back. He gonna make your ass fight, bruh. Remember Earl Spence coming back from the car accident versus Danny Garcia, who is also an incredible counterpuncher with power. Remember that. Earl Spence, now, most guys coming back from the car accident, your first fight, you would have thought they gonna take shit easy, right? You would have thought a motherfucker would be like, a little tentative. Like, I don't know, let me just... What Earl Spence do versus Danny? He came out that bitch pumping a jab, coming forward all night, pressure. From round one, pressure. I know what Earl Spence gonna do. He not gonna change his demeanor. That don't mean the style. Earl Spence has showed you he can fight multiple styles. But for the most part, he gonna be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He gonna apply pressure. He gonna make his presence known in the ring. I expect that from Earl Spence. I know that's what he gonna do. Even coming back from the accident, he wasn't tentative. He wasn't nervous and shit. He went out there, round one, pressed the action on him. And Danny Garcia had no choice but to move back and fight cautious. He had no choice. Because he's a counterpuncher. And Earl Spence eat counterpunches for breakfast. Because if you're going to wait on him, he going to push your ass back and he going to be first. And now it's up to you to try to land that perfect shot. And if you never land it, you just going to either get your ass whooped or you're going to lose all the rounds. That's just how the shit going to go. You're going to either get your ass whooped or lose on the cards or both. It could be a 12-round ass whooping. Like he gave Mikey. That's possible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Big Tex 33 said, smiling all in Earl's face. I'm telling y'all, bro, Terrence Crawford, he low-key was friendly. He was friendly. He wasn't like that with Jose Benavidez. Even though Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, they so-called friends and shit, but at the weigh-in, though, I'm just telling you, bro, he ain't finna, that energy gonna be different with Earl Spence. He gonna be very respectful. He gonna be very respectful. Because he know that he can't just get in the ring with Earl Spence and just do like he do with everybody else. When shit ain't going right, I'ma just raise the level of intensity, and that's gonna be enough to win. Now he knows he gonna have to take a lot more than that for him to beat Earl Spence. Because just like he can raise the level of intensity, he know Earl gonna do the same shit. So now I gotta actually follow a game plan. Now I gotta actually like find a way to beat this dude. I can't just go in there and just turn up and just fight and win. You know how he did with Mean Machine. Mean Machine started tagging his ass. What'd he do? He said, fuck it. Man, we finna fight. You know what I'm saying? And he just whooped his ass. Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn started getting a little too close for comfort. What Terrence Crawford do? He didn't do nothing strategically amazing and make no amazing, incredible adjustments. He just started fighting. And he whooped his ass. Shout out to the brother Grindworks Entertainment in the building. Salute. But he know with Earl Spence, it ain't finna be no, oh, I'm just finna raise the level of intensity and just whoop his ass. No, he know it's gonna be more than that because that guy on the other side of the ring, he can turn up too and get on your ass. So it's gonna be more than just that. I'm telling y'all. He really gonna have to fight. Said Bud did a new interview with DAZN. He already talking more respectful facts. Said Jay Smith said, nah, I don't see a contender. That mean demeanor from Bud gonna come out in the face-off. We gonna see. That's what I'm ready for. We gonna see. Look, I think he gonna be respectful. You know what I'm saying? I think the energy gonna be there. I think both guys gonna be on that shit. You feel me? But the energy is gonna be different. I'm telling you. He gonna know not to play with Earl. That's all I'm saying. He gonna know not to play with Earl. I think Earl Spence look at Terrence Crawford as just another opponent, if we being real. You know what I'm saying? I think Earl understands the magnitude of the fight for sure. He's a very intelligent fighter. He understands what's at stake. But I don't think he looking at Terrence Crawford as my hardest fight. I think Terrence Crawford looking at this fight as his hardest fight. I think that's the best way to put it. Earl Spence not looking at Terrence Crawford like this my most difficult fight. He looking at this like it's the most important fight. But he's not looking at this shit like, oh, this is my most difficult fight. It's going to be just another day at the office for Earl Spence. Terrence Crawford is looking at this fight like it's my most difficult fight. I can see it, bro. He knows that he know what this fight is, bro. He know what the type of opponent that Earl Spence is, dog. At least he think he know. And I think it's even more than that. He gonna realize it's even more than what he thought he was. That's gonna be the difference. That's why I say he gonna be respectful. Not that he's scared, but he realized what the fuck he's about to face. In Earl Spence's mind, he been here already. He already been there. He already fought on the biggest stages versus the top competition when they was at their best. For Terrence Crawford, this is more of a challenge for Terrence Crawford. For him, it's really like, damn, okay, like this shit really happened. Like I'm really finna fight Earl Spence now. And I know I gotta be on my shit. That's how I see it. Spence said he gonna watch Crawford. I believe that's exactly what was gonna happen. Spence has said many times that he gonna stop Terrence Crawford. He gonna whoop his ass. He done said that many a time. Earl Spence really believed that he finna beat Terrence Crawford the fuck up. He really believed he finna whoop Terrence Crawford ass. For Terrence Crawford, I think in his mind, and it's just me from looking from the outside and really paying attention to just the energy. Terrence Crawford is looking at this shit like, okay, now it's finally here. Earl Spence looking at Terrence Crawford like, bro, you just the last guy with this belt that I need to be undisputed. For Terrence Crawford, it's bigger than that. For Terrence Crawford, it's, damn, like, I'm finna fight Earl Spence. Hey, Karate Body, styles make fights. Styles make fights, you know? Styles make fights. You can't stop everybody. You know, styles make fights. But look, I'll say this. And I said this last time. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd barely beat Oscar De La Hoya. That was a split decision. He went tooth and nail with Oscar De La Hoya, right? He went tooth and nail with him, right? Tooth and nail. That shit came down to the wire. But Manny Pacquiao fought a later version of Oscar De La Hoya and crushed him, stopped him. But when Floyd fought Manny, it was easy work. Styles make fights. Styles make fights. And in this particular matchup, Earl Spence know that it favors him in this fight. Said Floyd hasn't been a killer since he left 35. What does that mean? It means nothing. He still didn't stop Oscar De La Hoya, or he barely beat him. It was a split decision. He barely won. But Manny Pacquiao crushed Oscar De La Hoya. He fought a later version of him. But then when Floyd and Manny fought, who won? I don't care what Floyd did at 135. That's not the point. He went tooth and nail with him and then beat a guy easily who stopped the guy that he went tooth and nail with. But the point is, Terrence Crawford understand what the fuck he getting into. And he gonna be very respectful. And I really want to see how... Nah, he didn't rout Oscar. It was a close fight, bro. It was a close fight. That fight was close. I had Floyd winning, obviously. But it was a close fight, dog. I'll say 7-5. You know what I'm saying? Possibly 8-4, 7-5. But Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, this shit gonna be very revealing. It's gonna be very revealing. Shout out to the brother Jay Grant in the building. What's good? It's gonna be very revealing. You know what I'm saying? Very revealing. And I want to see how Terrence Crawford approached this shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how Terrence Crawford approached the fight. Is he going to be his usual self? I think he will. I think he's going to go in there and try to, you know, be full of himself and try to fight. But there is a possibility that he going to be a little tentative. It's possible. Because he know what he in front of. Said Crawford is going to get beat up. Crawford knows what's coming. That's why he's slow signing that contract. Hey, man. I think Terrence really trying to get the most, because he know what the fuck going on. He trying to get the most money he can get. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. At this point, we all know, like, what's holding up the fight. I'm not saying it's on either side, but we know it's money. It ain't nothing else but money. Terrence Crawford trying to get as much as he can get. I mean, that's just what it is. We know what it is. Like, we don't even got to discuss that, the business side. We know what's going on. He trying to get as much money he can get. Because he know this the last ride. You know what I'm saying? It's the last ride, boss. Shout out to the brother Robert Justin in the building. What's good? That Bo Mac is going to say something to Earl about drinking, and Earl going go. He said Earl going to go at Bo Mac about his career. Hey, for real. Now, that shit definitely going to happen. At the press conference, you going to see banter back and forth from Earl Spence and Bo Mac and Derrick James and Bo Mac, Terrence Crawford. The press conference is going to be funny as hell. I think we going to see both of these guys' personality more in these press conferences. And I think the coach is going to bring that shit out more. Because you've been seeing Derrick James, he training. Derrick James training like he a fighter. So I know Bo Mac fuck around and be a little respectful too. Because he know his ass, you know, I don't want to put that energy out there. But he know he ain't doing too well right now. Derrick James in shape. He gonna know, not to overstep those boundaries. Because if it came to blows, man, say, bink, bink is over with. You feel me? Bomac throw one punch, and his ass, he need a break. He need a 15-minute break. He throw one punch. It's over with. So, he know I'm telling you, bro, the shit gonna be real entertaining in the press conference. I can see them going back and forth, about how long the fight took to make. Oh, Terrence Crawford gonna be like, yeah, he was avoiding me. I think some truth gonna come out too about like the behind the scenes, the business on the real reason why this fight wasn't happening. Because now it's made at that time, they're gonna be like, okay, we can talk about this shit now. But I think Earl gonna be on some shit like, man, fuck all that. The fight here now, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I don't wanna hear nothing about none of that bullshit. The fight here now what you gonna do? I don't care about who was avoiding who, this side or that side. The fight here now what you gonna do? Terrence Crawford at this point, in Earl Spence's eyes, he just the last guy holding the belt that he need to be undisputed. In Terrence Crawford's eyes, he's fighting Earl Spence. Shout out to the brother Armando Ramirez in the building. What's good? Chain with Ice in the building. What's happening? Said I think it's going to end up a close fight and lead into a rematch. Hey, man, I wouldn't be mad at that. Said they need to put Derrick and Bomac on the undercard. Hey, that'll be lit, bro. Real talk. That'll be lit. Said how much you think they will charge for the pay-per-view? I think it's gonna be standard. Probably like, matter of fact, it's gonna be between $80 to $100. I think it's probably gonna be like 85. You know what I'm saying? $89.99 or $85.99, something like that. I don't think they gonna go crazy on a pay-per-view price. What they gonna charge, where they gonna tax you at is the actual fight at the gate. That's how they gonna make their money. Pay-per-view numbers, I don't think they gonna rely on the pay-per-view numbers. Hopefully, they can do 600,000 and up. In 15 years ago, this does 1 million pay-per-view buys easy. Shout out to the brother Only Facts. But now, with the way the market is, illegal streaming, people just ain't interested in buying fights because it's so easy to access for free. Fans say they ask and beg for these fights, but then when they happen, motherfuckers don't support. But that's another story. I don't think they're gonna rely on a pay-per-view fight, on a pay-per-view numbers and shit like that. Hopefully it does 600,000 and above, maybe even 1 million, who knows? But at the gate is where they're gonna tax you. And rightfully so. And it's gonna be in Vegas. They charge extra for everything in Vegas. That's where they gonna make their money at the gate. They gonna make their bread at the gate in Vegas. That's where the money gonna come in at. Said I'll say 600K. Yeah, I think 600K is for me, for this fight, minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like that should be the standard for this fight, 600,000 and above. But ain't it crazy how we thinking a fight of this magnitude with these level of guys? Terrence Crawford, an incredible fighter, amazing fighter, very fun to watch. Earl Spence, much of the same. And they both have respective fan bases. The two top American fighters, fighting in America. You know what I'm saying? This should easily do 1 million pay-per-view buys, right? Logic, like, if this was a perfect world, but it just ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Said 600K tops 2-minute streaming services today. Yeah, I agree, bro. Like, it's ridiculous, dog. A fight like this should easily do 1 million buys, bro. Like, come on, dog. This shit better than Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos Maidana, Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo Alvarez. All the fights that you could think of that did 1 million, this shit better than those. As far as like in recent years. All the fights that did $1 million in the last 15 years, this fight better than all of them. This shit should easily do $1 million buys. You know what I'm saying? Say yeah, a million buys nowadays is hard. It is, bro. It is. That's why like you gotta change the standard. You feel me? You gotta change the standard for what's a successful pay-per-view. That's why, you know, when Earl he put together 350,000 pay-per-view buys on a consistent basis, and people try to shit on that, but what you got to do is keep it in context. The market that we in right now, man, it's only a handful of guys that can do 250. Think about it. How many guys doing 250 on a consistent basis? It's only a handful of guys that can do that. Tank Davis, who has a huge following, who has created a name for himself, he doing 250 on a regular basis. It's a lot of motherfuckers not doing that. You feel me? A lot of motherfuckers not doing that, man. Said not better than May versus Canelo. In my humble opinion, this fight is a better fight than Canelo and Floyd. That, in my opinion, and that was one of my favorite Floyd Mayweather performances. But this fight is just better. This a better fight, bro. This is just a better fight. Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford for Undisputed. All the marbles. Both guys in their prime. It's a better fight, dog. It's a better fight. It's a better fight. In my opinion, you know. You know what I'm saying? So he's not saying they're better fighters. It's just a better match. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying either of these guys better than Floyd. I'm just saying that this matchup is a better matchup. Like, I knew Floyd was going to whoop Canelo ass, bro. I had no doubt or question in my mind who was going to win with Floyd and Canelo. I knew Floyd was going to wipe the floor with him. Canelo wasn't going to be able to do shit with the man. I knew Floyd was going to whoop Pac-Man ass. I ain't going to lie. But it was still a little bit more like, mystery there. You know what I'm saying? But with this fight, even though I'm picking Earl Spence, I don't know who the hell going to win. I'm picking Earl Spence based off of logic and based off of the shit that I seen, and I'm giving y'all like what I think. But this a 50-50 fight. Anybody can win this fight. It's just a better matchup, bro. It's a better matchup. Said Canelo only had a puncher's chance against Mayweather. Facts. What, no, did anybody think Canelo could outbox Floyd? Hell no. Hell no. That fight wasn't nothing but, now a lot of motherfuckers thought that Canelo was going to win, but those was the people that always wanted to see Floyd lose. Anybody that really knew what the fuck was going on knew Floyd was going to whoop Canelo ass. The only people that thought Canelo was going to win was the people that was waiting for somebody to come along to finally beat Floyd. Nobody that really knew what the fuck was going on thought Canelo was going to win. Said, I feel you, but Canelo is the face of boxing. Come on, man. I hear you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel what you're saying. You know, you a Canelo fan, it's cool, you know. Shit, you know, Canelo, it's a big name, man. But it's just, that fight ain't going to be better than it. That fight wasn't better than what this going to be. Said Bud gonna go out like Bundu. Hey man, that shit can happen. I think Bud. Hey, remember Bud? Leonard Bundu was a switch hitter too. I'm not comparing Leonard Bundu to Terrence Crawford. Don't put that on me, dog. Don't put that jacket on me. I ain't saying that. But Leonard Bundu was a switch hitter. You know, he was in that bitch switching from southpaw to orthodox. Go back and watch the fight. Go back and watch Earl Spence with the shag. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a Super Saiyan in that bitch. Versus Leonard Bundu. That was the fight. That was the mandatory, the title eliminator for him to get the Kell Brook fight. Leonard Bundu, same dude who went 12 with Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Gave Keith Thurman problems. Leonard Bundu was in there switch hitting. Fight orthodox, southpaw, and Earl beat, like Only Facts said, Earl beat the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? So, this ain't the first time Earl done fought a switch hitter. This ain't the first time he done fought a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the first time he done fought a counterpuncher. I already know what Earl gonna do. The question is, what the fuck Terrence Crawford gonna do? That's the question. Like one of the brothers said, man, he's more unpredictable. That could be good, that could be bad. But I already know what Earl gonna do. Said out of all top welterweights today, Bud gets hits the least. Y'all forgetting that? Numbers do lie. Numbers do lie. I'll say that. Numbers do lie. You got to keep that in context. He hadn't fought a guy with the output of an Earl Spence. He hadn't fought a guy anywhere close to the level of skill as an Earl Spence. And to be quite frank, his best opponent at welterweight was Shawn Porter, who was landing some good shots on him. Who most people thought was up in that fight when he got stopped. I mean, you just got to keep it in context. Yeah, you got to keep it in context. You know, so numbers do lie. You know what I'm saying? Numbers do lie. Yeah, it said Mean Machine was putting them hands on him. Yeah, real talk. Said what good shots Shawn landed. Shawn Porter landed the right hand numerous times on Terrence Crawford. He just did it unconventionally. He leaped in with that motherfucker, and that's why he got his ass whooped, because him being a smaller guy having to leap in with short arm reach like that, and Terrence Crawford being an incredible counterpuncher, being able to set you up for shots. All he did was just sit back and wait on Shawn to leap in, and he kept stepping back with that uppercut. Well, he was fighting southpaw. He kept stepping back with that step back left uppercut, you know, and then he'll throw the lead right hook, you know what I'm saying? And he'll turn Shawn. He was just using Shawn momentum against him. But Shawn Porter was lunging in and landing that right hand, knocking him. It was a couple of times where he had Terrence Crawford damn near about to fall over and shit, jumping in with that right hand. Pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? Going to his body. Yeah, Shawn was landing some shit. But Shawn Porter had to take so many unnecessary risks. That's why you saw at points in that fight, Shawn Porter, he was just on his toes, bouncing. He like, damn, how can I get in? How can I get in? You know what I'm saying? How can I get in? Because Terrence Crawford is such an amazing counterpuncher, and he's so quick and sharp with his counters. And if your reach is way shorter than his, like him and Earl, they reach it ain't a big reach difference. And plus Earl is a bigger guy. All that shit gonna play a factor. But with Shawn Porter, it's like his only chance to land shit was he had to jump in on him. You know what I'm saying? So you saw at moments in that fight, Shawn Porter like, fuck, okay. He bouncing back. You know, y'all know like on Street Fighter, Ryu or Ken, how they got that little bounce. Shit, Shawn Porter was in that bitch. He was always, you know what I'm saying? He trying to see, damn, how can I get in? Because if I jump in right here, he fucking around, pop, pop. He fucking around and catch my ass. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother Skinny Too Litty. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get in. So every time he had to lunge in, Earl ain't gonna have to do that. Earl not gonna have to lunge in like that. Earl gonna gonna get in. He gonna control distance with his with leverage and the jab. With his feet, he gonna have great distance control with the jab, and his stance, being able to pivot and change angles like that. He ain't gonna have to lunge in. He gonna be able to do everything methodical. You know what I'm saying? Jab. You know what I'm saying? He gonna slowly close the distance on him, and then when they get close, Terrence Crawford not gonna be able to hold him. Like how he was doing Sean. When Sean actually did get close to Terrence Crawford, what'd he do? He tied him up. You can't do that with Earl. Earl gonna break that shit off and then start going to the body on your ass. And that shit build up and build up over the fight. It just build up. That's how he break you down. That shit build up. It might not look like much in the first couple of rounds. They might, he ain't got no power. Okay. But when it's consistent thudding shots, round after round, 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 and that shit just continue to build up, at some point you gonna break. And if you survive, you gonna lose on the cards. That shit build up. All them clinches. And remember how good Kell Brook was doing versus Earl? Go back and watch the Kell Brook fight. Kell was trying to hold Earl. And in the first couple of rounds, he had a little success. Kell a strong motherfucker now. In the first couple of rounds, and that, again, Earl fought a way more stronger version of Kell Brook than Terrence Crawford did. So, Kell Brook was very strong in the first few rounds. And he was trying to, every time Earl got close, he'll tie him up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, in them clinches, Earl just kept working him. Just kept working him over. And Earl Spence made small adjustments because Kell Brook kept countering Earl Spence's jab. So Earl started to feint first and then throw the jab, let Kell Brook reveal himself. Basically the same shit that Terrence Crawford did, because Kell Brook was dominating Terrence Crawford with the jab. So Terrence Crawford switched to southpaw and then started throwing that feint out there, getting Kell Brook to overextend himself and then hit his ass with that straight right. You know what I'm saying? Which is a jab in the southpaw stance. So with Earl Spence, he started to, I think that's where Terrence Crawford got that shit from. Because Earl started, instead of going straight in with the jab, he started to feint, and then Kell Brook would reveal himself, and then Earl would throw the jab, and now he close to him. Now I can go to the body. I can start wailing on your ass now. And after round after round after round, Kell Brook wasn't as strong as he was in the first rounds, in them late rounds. When it got to round 8, when it got to round 9, he wasn't that strong. Kell Brook wasn't as strong as he was in the first 4 rounds. Kell Brook was strong as fuck. Yeah, he was trying to hold on Earl. It looked like a goddamn, you ever seen a wild horse? Motherfucker trying to tame a wild horse, that motherfucker bucking and shit. It looked like he was trying to tame a wild horse. Earl Spence, throwing all type of shit. They in the trenches. Kell Brook, he looked like, goddamn, motherfucker, chill. He trying to hold on him and shit, but that shit was tough. He was doing a good job, though. But round 7, round 8, he couldn't hold Earl no more. That shit started to take a toll, them body shots. And Earl was hitting him in that eye. He's fucking him up. After a while, man, he just said, hey, man, I can't take no more of this. I can't take. That's why I keep telling you, gotta hurt Earl Spence. You gotta hurt him. That's why I say that. I'm not being biased. I'm not just saying because, I ain't just saying trying to limit a fighter's opportunity to win. I'm telling you, the way Earl Spence fight, you got to hurt him. Ain't no outboxing and just winning a clean fight with Earl Spence. You got to hurt him. If you can't hurt him, you getting your ass whooped. It's just as simple as that. If you don't got shit to keep, if you can't land that perfect shot you looking for, if you ain't got shit to keep him from walking your motherfucking ass down, bucking at your ass like a wild horse, you not gonna win. You're not gonna win. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, bro. When I say Terrence Crawford only got a puncher's chance, I'm not shitting on him. I'm not taking nothing away from his skills. I'm saying stylistically and the type of guy he fighting, all that punch, counter punch, hold, that's not gonna work. he gonna have to put some shit on Earl and fuck him up. Said Kel was laying on EJ neck after he punched. Yeah. Real talk. Real talk. Like you will see, Kel was in that bit. You know what I'm saying? He like, God damn. He doing everything he can to stop him from working. He said that Ugas fight was the most I seen Earl off balance. Why was that? I'm going to tell you what it was. It was a 17-month layoff. It's a couple of things. It was a 17-month layoff, and it was the fact that you fighting, coming off a 17-month layoff, and you fighting at home. You come out to Southside the Realest with Big Tuck. You got 40,000 people in the stands at your crib. He just wanted to turn up, bro. I just know the type of guy Earl Spence is. You know what I'm saying? Met the dude in person. I know what type of guy Earl Spence is. That's just his mentality, dog. In the city, coming from my city, the way our people is, bro, like, we just turn shit up, dog. And you come out the Southside the Realest? Bro, he wanted to lay hands on Ugas. That's why you seen him, like, in the first couple of rounds, he was doing, like, he was just lunging in, trying to, but then he settled down. After about the third round, he was like, all right, let me take a deep breath, and let me just break this motherfucker down. I'm not finna knock him out with one shot. Let me calm down and break this motherfucker down. Ugas a big, strong motherfucker. Bigger than Terrence Crawford, and probably more physically strong. Man, let me break. Who is also a great counterpuncher as well. Again, Earl Spence eats counterpunchers for breakfast. If you just gonna wait on him, you gonna get your ass whooped. But Earl Spence like, okay, let me just calm down. And let me get, you know what I'm saying? And he started to break him down. That's what it was. That's why he was looking out balanced. And I know you seen Earl, people was talking about he was getting hurt when like he was coming forward, just pressing the gas on Ugas, and then Ugas kept pushing him back. So you will see Earl kind of fall back. They talking about he hurt. No, he wasn't getting hit. He was just coming forward, and he'll fall back and then step back on that back foot and try to get back in position to keep working. That shit, when you really think of how Earl Spence was fighting Ugas, bro, the shit is insane. That motherfucker different. He was falling back like he was having fun in there. The dude getting pushed back, he like, fuck that, I'm coming right back. He didn't settle down, take a step back, and then he like, no, I'm coming right back. He did that shit multiple times in the fight. He was trying to get that man out of there. I'm trying to tell you, bruh. That's why he looked off balance as well. Shout out to the brother Mike Biggs Boxing in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, which version of Spence beats Crawford? Mikey Garcia fight or the Ugas fight? I'm thinking the Ugas fight is how Spence should handle his business. It said, wait till, I don't know why that shit. Okay, there it go. Said, wait, they said only got one tool in the bag, right? Man down. Hey, that's a great question, Mike Biggs Boxing. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to stick to my initial breakdown of Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. Remember what I initially said. It's going to be half chess match, half dog fight. Remember the Ugas fight even started off as a chess match, right? Even though Earl was taking some unnecessary chances, but it started out as a chess match. I think you're going to see a little bit of the Mikey Garcia Earl Spence, and you're going to see a lot of the Ugas Earl Spence. In the first couple of rounds, he gonna fight, he gonna box him. I think he gonna come forward, but it's gonna be with caution and intelligence. And he gonna box him. You know what I'm saying? He gonna kind of like how he fought Lamont Peterson in the first couple of rounds. But then after round 4, 5, that's when you gonna see the Jordanis Ugas Earl Spence, where it's like kill or be killed. You heard how that man talking, kill or be killed. That's the type of energy you finna see. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of energy you gonna see in this fight. You're gonna see a little bit of both the Mikey Garcia and the Jordanis Ugas Earl Spence, but mostly the Ugas Earl Spence, because he knows that stylistically, he needs to put pressure on Terrence Crawford. the fact that Terrence Crawford throws such a low amount of punches compared to a guy like Errol Spence, that's something that Earl need to put emphasis on. That's something that he need to make a glaring difference in this fight. He need to use Terrence Crawford's strength as a major weakness to him. He need to use Terrence Crawford's counterpunching ability, which is his strength, turn it into a weakness. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to sit back and wait, okay, bet. I'm going to be first. And I'm going to make you fight off of how I move. And I know you can't keep up with my work rate. I know you can't keep up with my punch output. So I'm gonna control the pace of the fight. I'm gonna dictate the pace of the fight. And what I always say, the fighter who normally wins is the guy that imposes his style on the opponent. If I can make you fight the way I want to fight, I'm gonna win the fight. If I can make you fight how I want to fight, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And it's not too many fighters in boxing that's better at making guys fight how they want to fight. Brook wanted to box Errol Spence. He wanted to box Earl. He wanted to sit back and counter Errol Spence, the same shit that Terrence Crawford gonna try to do. He wanted to sit back, and Brook is a great offensive fighter, just like Terrence Crawford. But he wanted to box Errol Spence. He wanted to box Earl at mid-range and long range so he can, get his little combinations off and shit like that. But Errol Spence turned that shit to something else. Early off, it started off like that, but towards the middle of the fight, you in a whole nother type of fight. Your ass in that bitch going tooth and nail. You fighting for your life now. You ain't signed up for this shit. Kind of like what he said, what Shakur said, if you gotta KO me to beat me, you're not gonna win. If Bud can't hurt Earl, then big facts. Stylistically, that's the type of fight it's gonna be. If Terrence Crawford can't hurt Errol Spence, he not gonna win. And that ain't just for Terrence Crawford. They go for anybody. When Earl move up to 154, I think there's some things that Earl gonna have to, some different tools and wrinkles that he gonna have to pull out and show us. There's gonna be some extra tools that I know he already got. We know he got those too. We seen him fight multiple styles, fight after fight after fight. But those tools are gonna be more pronounced in that higher division because those are bigger guys who hit harder, who has a higher chance of knocking your ass out. So Errol Spence gonna have to step his shit up because ain't nobody finna outbox him. You gonna have to hurt Errol Spence. You gotta hurt him. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hurt him to beat him. This ain't just Terrence Crawford. Ain't nobody finna go in there and just outbox Errol Spence and move around the ring and make it look pretty and hit and not get hit. Fuck no. You gotta hurt him. Because if you don't, you're gonna get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get your ass whooped, bro. Big facts. Said Earl defense gonna improve at 54. I totally agree. Said imagine Earl goes to 154, Earl versus Castano. Oh man, that's a great fight, bro. I would love to see that as one of his fights. Not overlooking Terrence Crawford, but just hypothetically speaking, if he beats Terrence Crawford and goes to 54, that'll be a great first fight, or him versus Lubin. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the Queen Lala D in the building. What's good? If anyone can hurt him, it's Bud. I agree 100%. That's why I'm able to call this a 50-50 fight. After all of the shit that I just broke down, after all of the reasons I gave you why I think Earl will win, the fact that I'm still saying it's a 50-50 fight is because I believe that much in Terrence Crawford's ability to hurt Errol Spence. It's possible. And if anybody can do it, Terrence Crawford for sure the motherfucker that can do it. So that's why the fight's so interesting. Said, I think who got the best chin gonna win. I got EJ. That's another thing that people gotta talk about. A lot of people not really understanding how good of a chin Errol Spence got. For him to lose his mouthpiece, you take a solid, clean right hand from Yordenis Ugas, who got one of the best right hands in the division. You take that bitch on the chin with no mouth guard. Now, people, I had somebody really trying to tell me that the mouth guard is for protecting your teeth. No, that's one of the uses for the mouth guard. The main use for the mouth guard is for you to be able to bite down on that motherfucker and help you absorb some of the shot off of the punch. I played football my whole life. That's the reason why we wear mouthpieces. So when we have head-on collisions, you bite down on that mouthpiece and it helps you absorb some of the shot from the collision. That's what mouth guards do. So the fact that Errol Spence was able to take a clean shot with no mouthpiece and still get back to work like ain't shit, smiling the rest of the round while he continued to whoop Yordenis Ugas' ass, that shit speak volumes. That's why I'm trying to say, like, if you relying on one knockout punch to hurt Errol Spence, man, you gonna be looking for that motherfucker all night. You gonna be looking for that motherfucker all night. The mouthpiece don't keep you from getting your teeth knocked out. That's false. That's one of the things that help with the mouthpiece. The mouth guard is to help you bite down and absorb shot from the punches. It ain't about your teeth. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Why you think football players wear mouth guards? It ain't about your teeth, dog. Some people use that shit for that. But when you in football and in boxing, that shit is to help. You can still get your teeth knocked out with the mouth guard. But if you fight without a mouth guard, you gonna feel those punches a whole lot more with nothing to bite down on. I'm telling you, bro. So for him to be able to absorb that shot, yeah, it definitely, bruh, that's the main reason for wearing a mouthpiece. If you let somebody, look, if you stand there and you let somebody hit you clean in the face with no mouthpiece, and then you take one with a mouth guard where you got something to bite down on and absorb the shot, it's gonna be totally different, bruh. Said yes, Chino knocked out one of Mayweather's teeth. Facts. With a mouth guard. That's not the main purpose of a mouth guard. The main purpose of a mouth guard is to help absorb the shot from collisions. And Errol Spence took a clean shot with no mouthpiece. Bruh, the dude chin is legit. Shout out to my brother Money Brown TV in the building. What's good, man? I appreciate you for pulling up, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to Big Money Brown TV in this hole, man. Big facts. Errol Spence chin is legit, bro. So, if you banking on Terrence Crawford knocking out Errol Spence, hey, man, say goodbye. Good luck. You feel me? Good luck. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? Said Virgil versus Thurman. Set it up. I love that fight. Virgil Ortiz versus Thurman. I'm picking Virgil Ortiz. I'm picking Virgil Ortiz. Said Earl catches and deflect counters to close distance. Yes, sir. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? You know, I love how he hit he be catching shit with his elbows. You know what I'm saying? He be throwing shit off. And then next thing you know, you done threw about 2 or 3 punches. You think you keeping him at distance. Earl, you know what I'm saying? He still throwing his jab. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, that motherfucker right in your chest. Now you gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta fight. Now you gotta fight. You feel me? Man, this gonna be a hell of a fight though, man. I can't wait. Shout out to the brother Dunny Johnson. Said in all the fights Crawford had, he hardly got hit in the body because of the level of Crawford's opponents and Crawford's skill, but his body will be tested. That's another great point. That's another great point. We gonna really see how Terrence Crawford's body and how his legs hold up late in this fight. You know what I'm saying? We gonna really see. I think that's gonna be tested. Say who else fight tonight besides the Better BF? I don't know. I think from my knowledge, that's the only one that's on. You know what I'm saying? I know Abraham Supernova, he fighting on that card as well. I want to see that fight. But I don't know. Oh, is Frank Martin still fighting tonight? Cause you know Mao was supposed to fight. Is Frank Martin still fighting tonight, or did they push his shit back? One thing I did see, Bud leg slowed down and he got exhausted round. Yeah, real talk, Sparks, real talk. But I've been saying that if you look at Terrence Crawford, most of his fights at 147, he haven't been doing a lot of moving. He just been primarily a sharpshooter. So he'll sit back, count. He just waiting for the. And he's so great of a counterpuncher that he able to. You know what I'm saying? He able to catch your ass. You know what I'm saying? And he'll sit back and just wait for the perfect shot. He don't move like that. Said Frank fight in July now. Okay. So is Money Brown, did they move his shit? Is he still fighting? Is it gonna be under Jamal Charlo and Selecki? Is that fight still gonna be on? I'm kinda out the loop. Or is he gonna be headline that fight with old boy, with Nunes? Said Crawford will get exhausted trying to keep up with Spence pace. Then he gonna get drowned in the later rounds. Yeah, man. That it's gonna be real interesting to see how Crawford reacts to that type of adversity, because he's gonna face adversity in that fight. Said he's being overly patient. One thing Earl don't do is give you time to calculate and think. Exactly, bro. You know, that's why I say you gonna have to fight. He not gonna give you a whole lot of time to just set up. That's why I say Earl Spence eats counter punches for breakfast, because counter punchers need time to think. They need time to sit to like catch you with the perfect shot. They need that. And Earl, if you let him be first, he gonna be first, but it ain't gonna be what you thought it was. It's gonna be constant pressure with intelligence and technique and great fundamentals and really good defense as well. Earl don't get hit as much as a lot of people make it out to be. You know what I'm saying? And for a guy that throws that many punches and applies that type of pressure, he should be getting hit a whole lot more, right? That let you know how good his defense is. For a guy that throws as many punches as Earl Spence and comes forward all night, he should be getting hit a whole lot more, right? That's a testament to his defense. He don't get hit a lot for how he fight. He don't get hit a lot, bro. The way he fight, Earl Spence get hit less than guys who fight going backwards all night. Think about that. Earl Spence get hit less than guys who fight going backwards all damn night. Ain't that crazy? But yeah, man, he's definitely not gonna give Terrence Crawford no time to think. Say, how does Earl deal with the angles and the turn and burn? That's gonna be something to look for. I thought about that. I think the biggest concern for me as an Earl Spence fan, you know, rooting for him to win this fight, the biggest concern for me is Terrence Crawford's hand speed. That's the biggest concern for me. Not just because I think he has blazing hand speed, it's Terrence Crawford's ability to punch in between your punches. And he fast with them bitches. So that's the biggest concern for me. You know, when Earl Spence throw a shot and he missed, and Terrence Crawford right there in perfect position to counter and hit you with quick, snappy combinations, or even them one hitters. That's the most concerning thing for me. As far as the angles and turning Earl Spence, I'm not really concerned with that because Earl Spence fights with angles and uses the pivot game to leverage position in the fights. I'm not really concerned with him getting turned in that fight. I think Terrence Crawford will try to use that. And he might, just like Sean Porter did. There was like, I think Sean Porter turned Earl once, maybe twice. But Earl started to catch on to that shit. I think that's something that him and Derrick James gonna be working on. But the most concerning thing for me is Terrence Crawford's hand speed in that fight. That's the biggest thing that concerns me. Yeah, EJ jab, it does offset hand speed. This ain't the first time that he's fighting somebody that's faster than him. So it's not something that's gonna make me say, oh, I don't think he's gonna win. But I'm concerned. I'm genuinely concerned with that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm concerned about that. You know what I'm saying? Because not only does he have hand speed, but again, he's an amazing counterpuncher, and he got power. So when he do land, he make you pay for it. So, but everything else, I'm not concerned about. If Earl Spence can deal with the hand speed like I saw him do in the past, he gonna handle him just like I'm telling y'all he gonna handle him. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Money Brown said he gonna fight on the he gonna still be the co-main. Okay, bet. Yeah, man. I wanted to see Jamal Charlo tonight, man. I wanted to see him get out there tonight, man. You feel me? I know he had the back injury. I wanted to see brother get out there on Juneteenth, man. Go ahead, get you a knockout or something. It's been a little while since Jamal Charlo had him a nice little, a nice little beat down. And that would have been nice to see, Juneteenth weekend. You feel me? But look, man, I'm finna go ahead and get up out of here, man. I'm hungry as hell. I'm finna get me something to eat, y'all. But look, I just want to say thank you to everybody that came through and showed love. Everybody in the super chat always showing love and supporting the channel. Everybody in the regular chat just showing up and interacting and chopping it up. Greatly appreciated, man. Make sure that you hit the like button if you haven't already hit the like button. We going crazy, man. We gonna continue to drop videos, man. We gonna continue to cover boxing. We gonna continue to cover this Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford fight. Big facts. The biggest fight in boxing, biggest fight in combat sports, period. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep doing our thing, man. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy y'allself, be safe, do y'all thing, man. And happy Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? To all my beautiful people out there, man. But salute to y'all. Contender regime. Boxing, I'll holler at y'all, boys.